Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a story time. I haven't done a story time in probably like 4 months or so. And it's so weird because I honestly have so many damn stories to share with you guys. But this one specifically is going to be a little bit different. It's not so much like drama, but it's going to be more of a scary story, kind of something that happened to me. If you are expecting me to talk to you about some fucking, like, and excuse my language, I cuss a lot, I already know it. If you guys are expecting me to tell you guys about me seeing some fucking demon or something, then you should just exit out of this video because it's not that dramatic, but it is pretty freaking scary and it just happened and I was just being so freaking paranoid. So yeah, basically this is going to be just a scary story time video. And I know that a lot of people get so much shit on YouTube for doing story times about like ghosts and stuff. This is something that really did happen, and if it's just me being paranoid or me thinking, like overthinking it, then that's just me. But this really did happen the way that I'm going to share it for you guys. One thing that I want you guys to know is all of my story times are really story times that happen, and this is why I don't do them so often. Like my channel is not just like a story time channel because I literally just share things that really do happen to me. But aside from that little disclaimer, let's go ahead and get right into the story time. So this story time happened about, how long have I been living at this house? We got this house probably 2 months ago, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think we've been living here for about 2 months. So we were living, Ulysses and I, my husband, if you guys don't know who Ulysses is my husband. Ulysses and I got married. We moved into an apartment. So we were living off of Spanos. If you're from Stockton, we were living in the new apartments off of Spanos. And those apartments are super nice. They're really new. And I don't know if you're like me, but whenever I am like living somewhere, I mean, I haven't really like moved around a lot or anything, but like even when I was living in the Bay Area, I always like to know like when the house was built or when the apartment was built or whatever the case may be, because I always have like this weird thing about if it's too old, then some shit went down in there. You know what I mean? And like me, I'm a really scary person, okay? And by scary, I mean like I'm scared of everything, guys. Like I am so petrified of just like random shit that it's so sad. Like, and I'm just a very fearful person. I don't know if it's because the way that my mom raised me, you know, she raised me to be very sheltered, so I just get really like anxious and really nervous with everything. So I personally get more scared when it comes to like paranormal stuff. I feel like I'm more scared of the dead than I am of like people that are alive. And that's just my preference. Like whenever I'm home and I'm at home alone, you know, we usually tend to psych ourselves out because we seriously think about like the worst case scenario. But whenever I'm alone, I feel like, oh my god, what if I hear something, or what if I like see something, or if it's like really dark at night, I'm like worried that I'm gonna fucking see some like a weird demon or something. I'm more scared of that than like somebody breaking into my house, which is my mom. She says that it's like the dumbest shit she's ever heard. She's always telling me like, how are you more scared of like the dead than you are of like real humans, you know? I'm just like, I just get really about it. But anywho, that's beyond the point. I just wanted to kind of share that with you guys and the type of person that I basically am. I was living in my apartment, and the apartment that we were living at, like it was really nice. Like it's a cute apartment. I loved it. It was really, you know, it was a cute apartment. But you know when you like feel that something is just not right? When I moved into that apartment, I just had this weird feeling of just kind of like worry, or just feeling like it just didn't feel right. It was just kind of like weird. Like I had like this presentimiento, you know, that something bad was just gonna happen, or I don't know if you've ever felt that way, but it's just this feeling. If you know what I'm talking about, you know exactly what this feeling feels like. But that's beyond the point. So I sleep with Elisa's, obviously. So, you know, at night and stuff, I'm not scared. He would get home from work sometimes really late, and I would just kind of stay at my mom's house. For those of you guys who don't know, I wasn't too far from my mom, and even now, you know, I'm like 5 blocks down from my mom. But back when I was in my apartments, I was only about a few blocks down, you know, so I wasn't too far out. So I would just kind of like chill at my mom's house, and then once Ulises would get home, I would just go after, you know. But then slowly I was like, okay, Blanca, you need to grow the fuck up. Like, you need to stop depending on your parents and just stay at home. So eventually, within like the 3rd month of us already moved in together, I just started staying home by myself and not worrying if it was 12, 1 o'clock, or whatever the case may be. I mean, he wasn't getting home from work at that time, but just speaking in general, if he did get home at that time, I would be okay. So I was like, okay, that's fine. So then we get Louie, which is my little dog. If you guys don't know, I have a little dog. He's a Yorkie Maltese. And they say that it's, I don't know if it's like a dog's thing or whatever, because I've never owned a dog before, but they say that dogs can sense or can see things that we don't see. So I was just like, oh my god, great. Like, I would see him bark at like random stuff, and I would be like, okay, that's weird. Why is he doing that? But then I'm like, okay, Blanca, you're just tripping. So it all started with the first thing that happened. So we had 2 bathrooms in that apartment. So one in our bedroom and then one on the outside, like for guests and stuff. So the one in our bedroom, it would always flood up. Okay, like, sorry, 1 second. It would basically always like flood up, but when it would flood up, it would flood up like red. And it didn't look like blood, but it didn't look like Kool-Aid. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't that light, but it was pretty dark. And then I was like, I know I'm not PMSing, so why the hell is our toilet flooding up? And it would only happen sometimes. Like, it would only happen sometimes. So then I called maintenance, and I was like, there has to be, because I googled it, I was like, there has to be something like wrong with the pipeline. Something's like rusty in there, like they need to come and fix it. So then the maintenance guy comes, and then he was like, I don't know what it is. There's nothing on your pipeline. Everything's fine. I went down through the bottom. I guess through the bottom. We were upstairs, so our bottom the bottom apartment complex, it had like a pipe that went down, and they were able to see through that pipeline. So they were like, we don't see anything going through, you know, the toilet or anything like that. So it's probably just. I'm like, okay, it's just some fucking random Kool-Aid in my toilet, apparently, you know. So I was like, okay, there's nothing wrong, it's freaking weird, whatever. So then it started happening a lot, okay? And like, it would happen, it would just kind of like flood up, and then it would like sink back down. So at that point, I was like, okay, maybe I'm just like overthinking it. Like, I highly doubt that there's gonna be like some demon bringing blood into my toilet, you know what I mean? But then I was like, okay, that's weird, you know, why is it something's bleeding under there? Like, maybe there's like a rat that's stuck in there, or a bird or something, and it's like making it bleed. But something is coming into our toilet, you know? So after a while, I just stopped worrying about it. I just kind of let it sit, and I was just like, whatever. Sometimes the toilet's red, sometimes it's not, whatever. I just kind of got to a point where I wasn't using that toilet anymore because I was just so freaking paranoid. So after a while, Louis would just kind of like act up. Like, he was just really, really angry, really aggressive, and he was just kind of like barking. And like, I'm a new dog owner, so I don't know if this is how dogs are supposed to act. They're little. Like, he was just going out of control. I was trying to train him, and I was just like, maybe there's something wrong with this dog. I don't know. But he would just get really aggressive, but he would always bark like at something very angry. Like, he would just like growl at that person or whatever it was. Like, they would just growl, and I would be like, Louis, chill, you know? So I'd be in the bathroom, and I'd have to like take him everywhere. If he was left by himself, he would just bark like at something, though. He wouldn't just be barking. Like, he would be like aggressively barking, like looking at something, you know? I can't even like mimic how angry he looked. So I would have to take him with me, and he was little. He was like this small, you know? So I had to like take him with me everywhere I went, you know, to the bathroom. If I went to pee real quick, I had to take him. If I showered, I had to take him. I had to have him with me at all times. So then after that, one day I'm planning for my seminar. I believe it was my Houston and Dallas seminar. So at my apartment, I would keep everything in this big walk-in closet that we had outside in the living room. So I had like all of my boxes stacked up. So all of my boxes were stacked up. I took them out, and I just, every time that I plant all of my stuff, I just kind of like lay everything out, and I pick, you know, certain quantities of something, and then I put them in a big box. So I was just there like on the floor. I was like literally out of the gym, and I was like in my sweats, and I was just chilling on the floor, and I was just like picking all my stuff, what stuff I was going to take to what seminar, what stuff I was going to take to the other seminar. And all of a sudden, Louie's like right in front of me, okay? And I'm like sitting like just like hunched over, and Louie is barking at me, okay? So barking straight at me. And I didn't even want to like say this video because now I'm scared. Now I'm just thinking about it, and like I'm getting chills, and like I'm gonna fucking psych myself out. But anyways, he was like barking at me, and then I was like, why is he just barking, you know? And he was like just really angry, just looking at me and looking at me and looking at me, and I was just like, what the hell's going on with him, you know? So I'm just like, I keep doing what I'm doing, and he's just like ready to like let himself go at me, okay? And I was like, what the hell is going on with my dog, you know? So then all of a sudden I just kind of like feel like this pressure on my back, like if I had something like on me, like, you know when somebody just kind of like gives you a piggyback ride? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I'm like getting chills. When somebody just kind of like gives you a piggyback ride, well, I was feeling like just that tension, you know? So I was like, oh, like I was at the gym, you know what I mean? So I was like, maybe it's just my back. So I just like cracked my back, and Louie's going crazy, okay? Going nuts and barking, and I'm like, Louie, stop barking. Like I was just like telling him to chill the hell out, you know? And he was just so angry. So then finally he just kind of like settles down, and then I was like, okay, like the pain kind of just went away. Not pain, it was like pressure, you know? So it just kind of went away, and then after that he starts barking again, and then I was like, okay, what the hell is wrong? And at that point I felt like somebody like shoved me, like pushed me forward, and it felt hot, like something bit me, like just like pressure, you know? And it felt like something just kind of like slid through my neck, and I felt like it was on fire. I was like, what the hell, dude? Okay, me being the little scary ass bitch that I am, I got up so quick. I was like, hell no, I'm not staying here. I was like, fuck this shit, I'm getting the hell out of here. I grabbed my keys, I grabbed my dog, and I left. I like got in my car, and I was like, I'm gonna go to my mom's house. And I was like in my car for like 5 minutes just taking everything in, and I'm like, what am I gonna tell my mom, what am I gonna tell my dad? Like they're gonna laugh at me. And I was just like, oh my god, am I thinking about it? Should I go back up? And like nothing in the world was letting me go back up. Like I just felt like this like I just felt so weird. So then I text my sister, and I'm like, oh my god, something touched me, and I'm so scared, and it's like my neck was burning, okay? Like something bit me. So then I go to my mom's house, I'm driving, I'm trying to like see if there's anything on my back, I'm like trying to record myself, and like I couldn't see anything. So I get to my mom's house, and my mom's like, ¿Qué pasó? And then I was like, something touched me. And then she starts hella laughing. Like I don't know if it's like a Mexican thing or a Michoacan thing, but if your mom is like this or your dad's like this, it's like they're used to this shit. Like every time I tell my mom about something scary happening, she's just like, ay, a lo mejor es tu abuela, or oh my god, o a lo mejor es tu abuelo y te vino a visitar, you know? And I'm just like, excuse me, like no, this felt evil, you know what I mean? So I was just kind of like not even trying to have a conversation with her, because she was just making things worse. She was just like, you're overreacting, it's fine, go home. And my dad doesn't like dogs, so I had Louie in the house, and my dad was just kind of looking at me like, why do you have your dog here, you know? And I was just like, oh my god, like I felt like I didn't have anywhere to go, and I was like, where am I gonna take my dog? Like I wasn't just gonna leave Louie at my apartment and then like get eaten by a demon or something. So I was like, I need to take my dog somewhere. And at that point I was like, shit, I'm just gonna have to go home, you know? But I basically put Louie in the backyard for a little while, and I just kind of chilled. And then I told my mom, I was like, something touched me in the back, you need to check. So then she looks at my back, and I legit have like on my neck 3 scratches, okay? Like I'm not even kidding. Like they were like little, but they were there, okay? So I was like, okay, maybe I did that myself, like when I like panicked, you know? But then I was like, nah, hell no, like something touched me, something fucking touched me, and I know that it happened, you know? And I was like I felt like nobody believed me, like everybody thought I was just exaggerating. Like I texted Ulysses and then Ulysses was like, really babe, like you're tripping, like it was probably nothing. And I was just like, I have no support from anyone here. I was like, nobody understands what I was feeling. Like my heart dropped and I did not want to go back to that apartment. Like I was like, not gonna happen, not gonna happen, you know? So then later on that night, I ended up going home. Once Ulysses got home, I took Louis with me and I was just kind of chilling there. My sister calls me and she's like, hey, are you okay? And then I was like, yeah, I'm fine. She was like, dude, what happened? And I was just telling her what was going on, and then she was like, it was probably nothing, relax, you know. But my sister, she knows that when I say something, it's serious, you know. It's like I don't just bullshit to like get people's attention. Like I was really, really scared, and she was just like, it's gonna be okay, it was probably nothing, just try to ignore it, you know. And then I was like, okay. So that night, like I didn't sleep. I was just like up all night. It doesn't help that Ulysses is such a heavy sleeper, so it just makes that 100 times worse, because I literally feel like it's just me by myself at home, you know. So I was just like, shit, what am I gonna do, you know? So I was just like up with Louis and I just had him there, and I was just like, Louis, you're the only one that's gonna protect me right now. But we literally stayed, after that incident happened, we stayed at the apartment for like 2 weeks, and it wasn't very much, like it wasn't even that consistent, because we went to my Houston class and then as soon as we came back we only had 4 days to move out. So we were literally like already, I think 2 of those days we were living at my mom's house until our basically everything with like the escrow and everything with the house you know, got approved and everything. So we had to wait for all of that to happen. So we were at my mom's for a little bit and then we ended up getting the house once we got it. But I was just like, no, this is not happening. Oh, but I swear it couldn't have been like a better timing, because I would have been so paranoid. I wouldn't have been able to sleep for months. Like I wouldn't have even wanted to been, like, I wouldn't have even wanted to stay by myself at that point, you know what I mean? And like I said, I'm already a really like scary person as it is, so you could just imagine how freaking paranoid I was. Even me just talking about it right now, it's getting me paranoid. I'm like trying to look around and shit, because I hate feeling scared, you know. But that was just like an incident that happened. I did want to share that with you guys because I thought it was pretty freaking scary. At least to me, like I didn't physically like see anything, but just knowing that something touched me and something was there and I felt it, and I felt like the bad vibes, like I just felt it, you know. Like my whole body has chills right now just talking about it. But if you guys have ever experienced anything scary, definitely let me know in the comments below. I love listening to scary stories, even though I'm such a little like vagina. I love to hear scary stories. I love watching scary movies. I love watching, you know, like paranormal witness and all that stuff. So if you guys have a story that you guys want to share with me, I would love to read it. Yeah, that's gonna be the end of my video. I hope you guys all enjoyed this story time, and I will see you guys in my next video. Love you guys.